Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Ruach and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and blessings to the hopeful elect out there teaching this word in all sincerity and truth, in the hopes that we may edify and feed the lambs of Yahawashi, especially in these last days. And just driving and talking, a couple of thoughts on my mind this morning. Because even before I dozed off last night, I had seen that Redacted had with Natalie and Clayton, pretty much they do a lot of good videos and whistle blowing, telling you the plans of the wicked elite, to be honest, they were talking about, their hot topic was talking about what the implants, man. Okay, the MOTB. All right, and more and more people are getting woken up to the fact that, hey, this hour of temptation is actually real. It's biblical prophecy. Obviously, we know what it is, but for those that are not in the know, guess what? You got even Edomites out there that will tell you that the MOTB, is the Revelation 13 and 16, the chip, But they were talking about the WEF, over there at Redacted, and they were saying that, the WEF, they coming out and they keep talking about, the chip, and that basically there's going to be a digital currency that they're going to push out there, and it's going to be through the chip. And they can put time limits on when you can and can't spend, when you can and can't spend that currency that's on that device. And also the Internet of Things. We got to speak about the Internet of Things as well, because ultimately the Internet of Things is having everything connected into that one central system. That's why Esau be pushing the whole universal basic income. Okay, universal meaning to turn into one, and this is what Esau wants to do, because remember, just like in the time of Antiochus Epiphanes, all right, which you had you called a Hellenization period, all right, where you had the Jews that were taking customs of the heathen nations and consenting to the to the ways of the heathen. All right, and the scriptures clearly tell us, learn not the works of the heathen, man, or the ways of the heathen. All right, in the same way you had sellouts back then during the time of Antiochus Epiphanes, because Antiochus, he wrote to his kingdom that all should be one people. All right, now this is actually biblical facts. So the same people, that all, were in power back then, because Antiochus is an Edomite, man. All right, and the Edomites are in rulership today. So they're gonna do, the scripture says the things, for whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. All right, so we got hope, Akim, but they're gonna push this MOTB, man. The Lord said our salvation is nearer than when we believe, but in order for us to be saved, we got to pass the hour of temptation. We got to pass the ultimate test. All right, spoken of in Revelation chapter 3 and 10. And the Lord said, behold, I come quickly and my reward is with me. If the Lord is coming quick, then, hey, for us to see the Lord come back, hey, the chip's got to be pushed, man. So that means that the chip is just around the corner. And when you start seeing, these mainstream media or alternative news media platforms pushing the MOTB hot and heavy, like, because the apostles and the elders, they've been pushing that. All right, but now you're seeing more and more platforms, they're starting to talk about it, WEF. And their slogan is what? You will own nothing and you will be happy. There's going to come a time where you ain't going to be able to go into the supermarket, put stuff in your trolley, and just pay for it with cash, or, just scan your phone. No, you're going to have to scan that chip. And you see, and I was watching the elder Mwatazak, done a very, very powerful, inspiring video. And I said I got to speak on that at some point as well. Okay, because Esau is playing on the heartstrings of the people with the whole Sound of Freedom thing, with the whole Jim Caviezel and that, which these guys, Mel Gibson and that, catching, talking about, they're set up to blow the whistle of the whole operation of the whole, the pedophile rings or child trafficking that's going on behind the scene, which that's been going on for years. Like the elder Mwatazak was going into. I believe his name's Mwatazak. It's lucky if I've, you know, got the name wrong, you know. I believe it is though, but he was going into how, you know, there's a whole algorithm on TikTok that you can go through outlining how Jim Caviezel, or you know the one that he played, what's his name, Tim Ballard, that's the one. Tim Ballard, and how he's a Freemason, man. Okay, and there's even a picture of him. I don't know how true, whether it's photoshopped or not, but he had I don't think it is, but he had a tie on with the Freemason symbol all over the tie, man. All right, so these guys are insiders, and Tim Ballard, I believe he worked for the CIA. All right, and there's been countless amounts of things that Esau's used the CIA for to pretty much push their agendas and that. Hey, feminism was one of them with Gloria Steinem. She's CIA, and the whole feminism movement that she was pushing. Guess what? She was commissioned to do that, man. All right, by the wicked elite, and she came out with that whole what's it called? The first feminist magazine called Miss Magazine, and the front cover of the magazine, you saw how it was like almost like a Hindu goddess, all in blue, but she was balancing on one foot, and she had all these different arms balancing all the womanly duties, because a woman means a female slave or a servant, you know. And that's another thing that Esau has pretty much polluted the minds of the people with on the earth, is that the woman can be bad and bougie and do it all bad by herself. You know, yeah, she's doing bad, all right, but guess what? We're gonna see how you're gonna be able to do things by yourself in the near future, man, when all hell breaks loose and you need a man to defend you. Because if someone breaks into your house, how bad and bougie are you then? Okay, if you ain't got a man to protect you, man, they're gonna be slapping that booty, man. You know, a man, especially these attractive women, when they run up in these homes, right, and the 999 calls go down and out, and you can't, and the grid is off, and it's just complete anarchy. What do you think these men are going to be doing when they see an attractive woman walking around or just jumping out of her bed in hysterics, and she's in nothing but hot pants? They just gonna slide them pants down, man, and get busy, bro. All right, it's gonna be like The Handmaid's Tale out here, or The Road. When you watch the movie The Road, in the first scene, the woman bugged out. You know, the man's woman, you know, she bugged out. She walked into the cold, and she couldn't take the anarchy. She was like, they're gonna rape me, they're gonna rape my son, and she had a meltdown. All right, and the scripture says that at that time shall friends fight against one another like enemies. So people have a full sense of security right now, that they're living in these last days. They're in that peace and safety spirit. But just like the scripture says, or prophesied in Matthew 24 and 36, but as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Where they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. All right, so just like in the time of Noah, and Noah was out there prophesying, okay, but they didn't believe that it was going to rain, there was going to be a flood as Noah was building the ark. But guess what? Noah was saved. All right, him and his whole household. And just like in the time of Noah, him and his household got saved, you're going to have, you know, the members of the elect men, their families, they're going to be saved in these last days. Okay, the Noahs of this time, if you will. The Lord said in Isaiah 26 and 20, come my people, shut thy doors about thee, enter into thy chambers, shut thy doors about thee. Loosely paraphrasing, you know. In fact, let me go ahead and get that Isaiah 26 and 20, because I don't want to butcher the scripture, you know, because I believe I was kind of way misquoting the scripture. Enter thou into thy chambers. Let me see. Every time I do a video, that the mic don't want to work on my other phone. This is Satan, don't worry about it. Word must go out regardless, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Alright, this is Isaiah chapter 26 verse 20. It says, come my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. You see that? Alright, so I kind of had it right, you know, but you know, hey, when you read the scripture, hey, there's power in this word, man. You know, this is all biblical prophecy. The Lord said, and that brings us comfort to know that, you know, the Lord's gonna hide us for a moment, you know, until the indignation be overpassed. And you know, them nuclear missiles are gonna fly, man. All right, a brother just sent me a clip of I think it's the movie called Threads. All right, where there was a nuke, one warhead that went off, and it pretty much it went off in the sky, but it shut down all the communications. You know, people were scrambling like fucking roaches, man. You know, who took the antenna out? And you know, the women were grabbing their children. You had men in a prostrating position, you know, with their hand in between their kneecaps. You know, when all hell breaks loose out here, you know, and the earth rules to and fro like a drunkard, like the scripture says in Isaiah 26. You know, that's when people are gonna realize that what the prophets were saying was not bullshit. Just like in the time of Noah. Hey, the scripture says the foolishness of preaching, man. All right, we might seem like fools to you people. All right, but guess what? Hey, we're prophesying. The word prophesy means to say before, and we're telling you what's gonna happen before it fucking happens, man. And then when it happens, the scripture says, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. But before that destruction takes place, the nuclear missiles dropping on America, Babylon the Great, like a scene from Terminator 2 Judgment Day with Sarah Connor banging on the fence. See, we're like Sarah Connor banging on that fence, man. You know, and people beyond the fence that were playing in the park, you know, they couldn't hear what we were saying. They couldn't hear what Sarah was saying. She was banging on the fence, you know, banging on the fence, and they couldn't hear what she was saying. And then all of a sudden, you just saw that sweeping agent, man, the wall of fire come and take them all out. All right, so there's gonna come a time where that fire, hey, and Yahweh Shai is coming with fire. Okay, we can't forget about the destruction that Yahweh Shai is coming with too. Behold, hey, the Lord is coming with clouds, right? And every eye shall see him. But what do you think he's going to be doing when he rides in upon that swift cloud? Okay, he's going to be shooting laser beam technology, man. Read Habakkuk chapter 3. And when Habakkuk saw the destruction, he said, look, Lord, behold, I heard thy words and I was afraid. You had certain prophets that saw the destruction, saw the vision of the destruction. Okay, and they got sick, or they got afraid. Hey, Ezra was another one. He said, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days, man? All right, Ezra saw a hell of a lot. He saw the famine. He saw the cannibalism. He saw people running around with great confusion. One people standing to fight up against another with swords in their hands. Okay, he saw the people not being able to go from one zone to another zone, that they show you in the Handmaid's Tale, that they show you in Hunger Games, with these 15-minute cities. Esau, he's gonna look, man, coupled with the chip, have total control of where you can and can't go, what you can and can't spend, and when to spend it. Have a sell by date, well, not a sell by date, but like a time limit on when you can use these items, when you can spend that currency, man. All right, and a WEF, they keep talking about this. Why do you think they keep talking about it, man? All right, it's called predictive programming. All right, and another thing with that whole Sound of Freedom thing, because I was talking about that earlier, with them Masons, man, and them insiders, these celebrities, these Hollywood celebrities, man, they're all sellouts, bro. You know, and people are falling for a hook, line, and sinker, getting reeled in by the emotional seesaw that Esau's pushing out there, you know, having the people's and why do you think that they're promoting, you know, this movie, The Sound of Freedom, so hot and heavy, talking about blowing the lid off the adrenochrome and the pedophile, the sex trafficking, the child sex trafficking, and they want to make you seem like a conspiracy nut. All right, if you actually believe that that's actually going on, they want to make you seem like you're a nut job. Hey, you had the ex-prime minister of the UK, Boris Johnson. He came out and said conspiracy theorists are nuts. You know, they're nuts. So if you sound like a nut job, look like a nut job, people just dismiss you because you're just a nut job. You know, it's gonna get to the point that, you know, through order of KO, which Esau always pushes out there, that formula. Hey, we're not supposed to be ignorant of Satan's devices, man. All right, 2 Corinthians 2:11. Now through that chaotic situation with the whole Sound of Freedom, and you know, them blowing the lid off the adrenochrome, and which, hey, the apostles and the elders, they've been telling us that Esau's been sacrificing children the child sex ring. But what about Jimmy Savile, man? Okay, hey, the king used to be tight with Jimmy Savile, and that guy was a straight up pedophile, man. You know, going to children's homes and popping the hell out of these children, man. Hopeless children, defenseless children. You know, and that was a buddy of the king of England right now, that just got coronated, man, as the king of England, right? He just had his coronation, talking about kissing the Bible, but they got nothing to do with what the Bible says, man. And that's Psalms 50 and 16. Cast the words of the Most High behind them. But unto the wicked, what hast thou to do to declare thy statutes, or that thou shouldest take thy covenants in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest the words of the Most High behind the instructions, the words of the Most High behind them, man. That's what they do. All right, but that's why the scripture says the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment, man. These Edomites are hypocrites. All right, but again, through the order of KO, man, and that sound of freedom, playing on the heartstrings of the parents out here, that's gonna have which, like the elder was going into, you know, that's gonna go into them pretty much having the parents chip their own children, man. All right, and then you look like an asshole if you don't want to do that to your children. You look like you're a nut job for not wanting to have your children chipped. It's gonna get to the point now, for those that don't want to take the chip, you're gonna be looked at like terrorists of the earth. Okay, outcasts of the earth, nut jobs, conspiracy nut jobs, you know, and terrorists basically, and especially dealing with those that are preaching and believing in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, that are teaching this word. The scriptures speak about the souls of them that will be beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, man, and for the word of the Most High. So for this, standing up for this word, is truth, some of us are gonna have to lose our heads, and that's a very real reality. That's biblical prophecy, man. All right, but remember, hey, through the comfort of the scripture says that the dead of Yahweh Shai shall rise first. And ultimately, the mindset of the elect is, we don't want to live in this kingdom anyway. You know, if you want to kill us for us not wanting to live in this wicked ass upside down reality that you set up, Esau, then fucking take off our heads then. Because they're the oppressors cease. When we die, we go to the Father of spirits. All right, and if we die in the Lord, hey, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. So we don't want to live in this wicked ass kingdom anyway. Hey, the scripture speak about them that love not their lives unto the death. The scripture speak about them that got the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark, man. So the elect ain't taking that mark, man. The elect are gonna get the victory. When you get the victory, when you watch these Olympic, you know, competitive, you know, tournaments and that, you know, you want, hey, the one that passes the finish line, guess what? He's the victor, man. He got the victory, bro. And that's the elect. The elect are gonna pass that finish line. Okay, and in the end, and I did a video on that yesterday. Hey, didn't the Apostle Paul said, look, the time of my departure is at hand. Okay, he said, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have fought a good fight. I have kept the faith. He said, henceforth there is laid up a crown of righteousness, and not for me only, but unto them also that love his appearing, man. So the Apostle Paul knew what time it was. He said, the time of my departure is at hand. He willingly offered up his own life, you know, to serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And so we supposed to be, hey, didn't the Apostle Paul say, be ye followers of me even as I am of Yahweh Shai, man? So we gotta follow the Lamb with us wherever he goeth. Hey, the scripture says, mark the perfect man. Yahweh Shai gave up his life. Okay. Hey, so this is about sacrifice, man. This is about a great sacrifice that we have to, you know, we have to arm ourselves. That's coming in the near future, man. And the Lord said, look, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is your guide. Hey, the Lord's our guide, man. Alright, so don't be afraid. Don't doubt. The Lord's gonna come through for us, Akim, you know? We're gonna be tried, and the scripture says, then shall it be known who are my chosen. That we shall be tried, right, in the furnace, like gold tried in the fire. But hey, fire is a cleansing agent, man, and fire, hey, that's that hot element, man. And the heat's about to be turned up in these last days. So just wait upon the Lord, man. You know, hey, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom. All right, Acts 14 and 22. So with that, man, you know, I believe I've said, you know, what I wanted to say through the Spirit. You know, just a couple of couple of words. Lord willing, this was edifying, you know. And until the next time, man, hey, stay up, stay strong, and pray, you know. Pray to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to strengthen your minds in these last days, man. Because there's some spirits out here that, you know, that are just that are doing some stuff, man. We gotta arm ourselves with prayer, with this word. You know, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Hey, within this wisdom, the scriptures say what? Pray without ceasing. So that's a part of the armor, man. That's a part of the stability of our times, to pray. So to pray without ceasing, hey, that's a good thing that you're doing right there. So keep on praying for the brotherhood, keep on praying for the Archean, man. You know, the sincere believers, man. Alright, because hey, we're gonna be tested, man. And the heat's about to be turned up. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.